soaring prices ahead of tomorrow's June CPI report. Joining me right now is Ohio Congressman Brad Wenstrup. He's a member of the Intelligence and House Ways and Means Committees. Congressman, good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here.
You bet. You bet.
So it is true that prices have come down in terms of oil and food in the last few days, but is it fair to say that they won't go back up and that this is a backward-looking report?
Well, the fact of the matter is the American people are feeling what's taking place, and right now we're at 8.6% inflation. And so people are looking at ways to cut out some of their expenses, but the things that you can't cut, Maria, are your food, and for many people, they can't cut out their gas consumption or their energy consumption. We're dealing with a very cruel economy, and we're really not hearing much from the White House and the administration on how to fix it. It's become a blame game, and it's blaming everyone but themselves, like the spending that has come out of the government and this White House. They don't talk about that as having a large contributing factor to this problem. Instead, you hear them saying, oh, the gas stations, need to just cut their prices. Well, most gas stations, they don't make any money on the gas. It's drawing people into the store. And even Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos called them out on that. They've been trying to cripple the energy industry since the beginning, since day one, by stopping Keystone, stopping drilling, and promising to shut down the industry.
Right.
And then you have them blaming meat packers for gouging, and even the Washington Post, they called that economically illiterate. So these are the things that we're dealing with. And then, as you just heard, you want to blame Putin and Ukraine, but the prices of things were going up well before the invasion of Ukraine. And not only that, it's very arguable that the policies of this administration are what led Putin to say, now is my time to go into Ukraine. We also hear them say that Republicans are obstructing. Well, you have the White House, you have the Senate, and you have the House of Representatives, but they're not talking to us. We're not even having committee hearings where we're marking up bills, trying to pass bipartisan bills out of committee. And it's taking its toll, because 53% of Democrats now blame Biden policies for what is taking place with our inflation and our economy.
Meanwhile, the president is leaving for the Middle East tonight. It's his first visit as president to Israel and to Saudi Arabia. Biden pointing to the importance of Saudi Arabia's energy resources before he leaves the administration. The administration won't say if the president will shake hands with the Saudi crown prince during the meeting, Congressman, after all of those months that he called the Saudis a pariah state.
Well, I think it's important for us to have good relations with countries that even we disagree with a lot of the things that they do. But if he's going over there to try and purchase oil from Saudi Arabia, that to me is just a huge mistake. So we'll see if that's one of the things he's trying to accomplish there, when we could do that right here in the United States. I'm glad he's going to Israel. Israel is a key partner for us in that region, obviously, and always has been. There have been a lot of talk on the Democrat side over the years where they've done a lot of bashing of Israel, but I think that they're a key partner that we need to maintain as a close ally. So I'm glad to see he's going to the region, but what he ends up talking about, it's hard to go into Israel when you are eager to have a deal with Iran. With the United States and Iran, that's not selling well in Israel, but we'll see what that conversation ends up being about as well.
Yeah. I want to get your take on an op-ed in the Journal this morning, moving to the China threat. The China Securities Regulatory Commission is apparently looking to require foreign-owned fund managers like BlackRock to create what they're calling Communist Party cells when operating in the country, Congressman. John Ratcliffe has been on with me a lot, and he said that the strategy that the CCP has is rob, replicate, and replace when it comes to foreign firms. Now they're basically telling anybody who has a foothold in China, like a BlackRock or a Fidelity, that they have to have a Communist Party cell in their company when operating in China. Your thoughts? What can you tell us about this?
Well, I think that this is a big problem, and I've been warning people, at home and elsewhere, that if they have investments in China, if they're doing business in China, they really ought to plan an exit strategy, because China is trying to take over every business that may be there, and also the ones that we have here. We know they're well infiltrated throughout our society, trying to steal intellectual property in our universities. But if you're invested in China, they have every intention of basically owning you and taking you over, if not just stealing your property. John Ratcliffe is right. They want to replicate and replace. So in other words, you come to China, you do business here. It seems like a great thing for your business right now, but before you know it, they have taken your property, and then they just replace you, and it's like, go away, and now you're stuck. So I would make your exit plan.
Yeah, but Congressman, real quick, doesn't this start at the top? Where's the policies trying to stop this? I mean, right now, the Biden administration is talking about lifting tariffs on Chinese goods. They've canceled the China initiative. So where's the policy setting the tone here for business?
There isn't any, and that's the unfortunate problem. I haven't seen one thing out of this administration that's trying to counter the aggressive actions of China. And that is our number one threat. We know this. Both sides of the aisle know this, especially if you're on Intelligence Committee and engaged in that community, or Armed Services Committee. Both sides of the aisle are aware of what China is doing on every front. Okay. And I don't see anything from the administration.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, we'll keep a spotlight on it. Thanks very much for being here this morning. Congressman Brad Wenstrup joining us this morning.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.